Okay, so I just brought everything over to the kitchen. I'm pretty sure this is where I'm going to keep it permanently, so I thought it'd be easier to do all the setup and then not have to worry about moving it with water sloshing everywhere. So first step is to just plug it in. Plug it in the back. Right here, you plug it in, and now I'm going to so now the green light is on, and the second step is to fill in the water here. And there's a little filter there, nozzle. That thing can actually hold quite a lot of water. I had to fill the water jug like 2.5 times, so I guess that's about, I don't know, 4 liters of water. Don't quote me on that though. So then it says to add plant food, which they give you in the little seed pod kit. They have 3 different kits for this model. They have the herb one, which I got. I think this is the most popular one that people start with. They also have a flower arrangement and a vegetable garden one. I'd love to try the vegetable garden next because that sounds really fun, but I wanted to keep it simple and just go with herbs because I don't really know how well I'm going to do with this. So, okay, I'm going to open this up now and try and do it. Oops. So I have the Gourmet herb package, and inside there's 6 pods. We've got Genovese basil, mint, thyme. Oh no, this one popped off. Thai basil. Like that. What is this? Curly parsley and dill. So each of them have printed on there, on the label, you're supposed to keep this on, how long it sprouts, and I believe this is the height reference. Yeah, so medium, whereas dill is tall. So they said you want to put the taller plants in the back, medium, and short, I guess, in the front. And then it comes with these 6 pod covers. You're supposed to put the pod cover on over until the seed sprouts. I think it just helps protect it. So now it's time to add the plant food. This is what it looks like. It says that the cap is 4 milliliters, and to start out with, if you have 6 pods, to add 2 capfuls. Okay, so now it's time to plant the pods. Last step. So I'm going to put the parsley and the thyme in the front because it says short, and this one takes almost a month to sprout. This one is faster, about like 1 to 2 weeks. And then now I'm supposed to cover it with the seed pods, just kind of loosely. And that looks like it's it. And there's a little timer down here that just set the clock. The timer that you start it with is when the light is going to turn on every day. And for the herb packet, the light will be on for 17 hours a day. So I figured I probably want to start the light in the morning and have it shut off at night. So I'm going to change the time to, I think, 6 a.m. And then that means 17 hours later, that should be 11 p.m. It'll shut off. And hopefully that works. I'm going to move the light back down too. I pushed it up so that I could get water in there easily, but they say you want the light as close as possible, like 4 to 6 inches. I'm going to put it on the lowest setting, and then you raise it as the plants grow up. But I think they say that the taller plants, like basil in particular, that grow fast and tall, if you raise the light to accommodate that one tall plant, that one will crowd out the other ones. So you want to prune, and I think that's the right word, harvest. You want to harvest the plant quickly so that they can all kind of grow at the same rate. Okay, so this is just the first week, and hopefully I will have more progress to show you in the next couple weeks. I'm really excited for this. Oh, the one other thing was they said the light is basically on 24/7. So ideally you have a room that with a door that you can close off, and that way the light won't bother you if you're like sleeping or just home at night. Unfortunately, I live in a 1-bedroom, so I don't want to stick it in my bedroom, obviously. So I'm just going to put it under, probably here, somewhere in the kitchen, so that hopefully the light doesn't bother me in the living room. And yeah, I might move it around. We'll see how it goes for now. So I've had the AeroGarden on for 10 days now, and it tells you how many days it's been running and how many days left until you're supposed to put more plant food. So far I've got thyme, mint, and Thai basil that are in, and then Genovese basil is like really going strong. Just waiting on dill and parsley. It's been 30 days, and here, let's turn on the light. So I just harvested a little bit. The basil was growing. The basil grows so fast. This is the Genovese basil. I cut this whole top off just because it was growing too high, and I wanted to keep this as low as possible so that the smaller plants could have room to catch up to the 2 basils. I also switched around the placement of the plants. The underneath in here, the roots are kind of growing like crazy for the Thai basil, and even more crazily for the Genovese basil. So I thought that maybe those were impacting the growth of these. So I pushed them both to this side, and then I put the thyme and mint on this side. And that seems to have worked because overnight the mint and the thyme have both grown significantly. One thing I didn't do that I should have, so another update is that the dill unfortunately never sprouted. They are sending me a replacement herb, and the curly parsley also never sprouted. I've kind of left that one in there, but I really should take it out. They say that you should cover the holes because otherwise the strength of the light will form like algae and bacteria. So you do want to make sure you cover the holes. I just used some really thick like napkin paper because I didn't want to spend the money on the spacers. And since herbs are coming in anyway, they are really great about sending you a replacement. The only thing is it takes probably about 10 days for the replacement to come in. And I'm worried that in the meantime, the basil plants will have grown even more. So here, I'll show you a little bit in depth on each plant. Okay, this is the mint plant. I did trim it once so that it would grow more bushy. Basically, all of these plants will grow up. They'll grow vertical unless you trim them. And then every time you make a cut, 2 will sprout in its place. So you can see here, these 2, well, wait, no. I made a cut somewhere. Okay, yeah. I made a cut here off this stem, and then the 2 side ones grow from the side of where you made the cut, and you want to cut it pretty much as close to the base as possible. That way the plant doesn't spend extra energy to like a giant stem. And then in the back is the thyme. The thyme has definitely been growing slower. I'm not sure why, because it sprouted pretty quickly. I did trim it once. I took maybe like 2 leaves off, and as a result, this one is much more full and bushy because I trimmed it. And then these are new offshoots that have been growing a little bit more slowly, so I haven't trimmed them yet. But once I do cut them, eventually it should grow like thicker and bushier, which is the goal, so that they all stay in their own little lanes. Parsley never grew. This is the Thai basil. I harvested a good amount off of this one. I made like Thai basil chicken fried rice, which came out really good, but you do need quite a bit of the Thai basil. So since I cut it, it is growing nice and kind of low and bushy. I'm always, here you can see a cut there. I'm still a little bit confused on like how to cut it. Because as you can see, here's another 3 cuts I made. It is growing nice and full, but it's still, size comparison wise, like much bigger than say the thyme and the mint. So I think I should continue trimming it to keep the light as low as possible so that these can catch up. Yeah, so that's that. And then the Genovese basil, that one grows just the fastest, like a total weed. Here, I'll swing it around to show you that. This one, as I said, I cut the top third off. This was like this until I cut it off this morning. This was quite a big batch, and this is already, like, I took this top part off and I made pesto with it, and then it grew out these 2 offshoots, and I also cut the side leaves, and then it grew. And then I'll show you the root system at the bottom because it's quite crazy, and I read a lot of articles online and watched a ton of videos, and they recommend that you actually trim the roots. So I've been doing that a little bit because the basil's gotten out of control, and just to keep everything neat and tidy. So the easiest way to lift it up is through the water canal. So you see the thyme roots are a lot smaller. This is the mint root. And let's swing around. The basil, as you can see, is huge. Both of those I just snipped a little bit at the bottom so that they would be more manageable. Otherwise, the roots were kind of swinging all the way to the side. And in that little area, which is the black thing, is kind of like this foam piece that is where like the pump goes to bring the water up, and it was getting all tangled up in there. So I snipped it a little at the bottom just to prevent that from happening. I think if the roots get really tangled up in the pump, then it can cause the whole AeroGarden to fail. So you definitely want to keep track of the root growth as much as you see the upper bottom plant growth. Okay, that's it for now. This was my 1 month update.